Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Battlefield Breakdown, episode number 6. I am Blevins, and this is brought to you by Turn 'em Sideways. We are here at the end of the initial run of the tournaments that were in China. A lot to talk about today. We've finished the run. We've had not one, not two, not three, but 4 tournaments. It concluded with Hangzhou this weekend, and I'm going to go all through a bunch of stats, deck lists, and everything to talk about. But before we do, make sure you have commented, and subscribed to the Turn 'em Sideways YouTube channel. Not only do you get to see this show every week where I'm talking about the meta in competitive Riftbound, we've also got The Winning Point, which is another podcast featuring myself, Casanova, Charmer, and Pastry Time, where we're talking all things Riftbound. Without further ado, we have got the Hangzhou Regional. So don't be fooled by the top 8 breakdown, because there's a lot to talk about here. Spoiler alert, there were 4 Master Yis in the top 8. So the top 8 goes as follows. Master Yi in first, Master Yi in second, Master Yi in third, Master Yi in fourth, Sett in 5th, Sett in 6th, Ahri in 7th, and Kaisa rounding out 8th place. So couple of things right off the bat. This is the first of the Chinese events that Kaisa did not win. It is not the first time that we've had 4 Master Yis in the top 8, though. But it's not just the same Master Yi lists 4x'd. Without further ado, let's take a look at that first place Master Yi, Dazzling Aurora, and Master Yi taking down first place. This deck has a lot of what you would expect to see. We've got our full suite of ramp. We've got the 4 Catalyst of Aeons. We've got Find Your Centers. We've also even got Meditations. This is the only deck with Meditation in it this week. It's got Charm, which, spoiler alert, was the most played card. It's got the full Confronts, the Mobilizes that you would expect to see in an Aurora deck. And then for its units, uniquely is running Mountain Drake. 9 energy, 10 might, no abilities, doesn't need them. Keyword big. It's got the full complement of both Deadbloom, Predator, and White Flame Protector as well. So notably, very light on the units. There's only 8 units in the actual deck. We saw this one take it down. A very unique list. We certainly haven't seen in the top 8. We did not see any Dazzling Aurora Master Yis in previous top 8s. This one ends up taking it down. Let's take a look at the second place Yi that we saw this one win against in the finals. This is someone who is from the Legends of Runeterra community. You will know Ace has been a top ladder player, has done very well on ladder. This is a very different list. This is lovingly called Eggplant Yi, because we do see the Tasty Fae folks playing those ramp spells to try to accelerate to the late game. But it is also playing the early game units. Pookie, Stalwart, Poro, Clockwork Helper, first made of very strong card there. And then of 2 White Flame Protectors and 2 Deadbloom Predators at the top end, in addition to the Tasty Fae folk. Zhonya's Hourglass is another card I didn't really talk about it as much last week. In the top 4 most played cards, a staple in these calm decks where you do want to have a critical mass of units, but you don't necessarily want to play too many big units or play too many small units. So you can have these Zhonya's Hourglasses to essentially give you an extra copy of a Deadbloom Predator. So you're able to save that. You're able to get a ton of additional value and might out of just a 2 energy card, or even possibly less if you are hiding it. Really, really strong card in Zhonya's Hourglass. We're seeing almost max copies in every deck. One last thing about this second place deck I want to point out is the Hollowed Tomb, being able to recur Master Yi. Use Yi quite aggressively and then hold the Hollowed Tomb. You can overload on the Hollowed Tomb and get that Yi back in your champion zone. Very, very strong. Very, very strong list and a very good performance by Ace there. That's all we're going to say about Yi, at least for now. 4 Yis in the top 4. The first set that we've seen in a top 8 here. We are seeing Sett Kingpin as the chosen champion. 3 Sett Brawler, 2 Sett Kingpin, which I really like having at least 1 copy of each so that you can switch between which chosen champion you would like, depending on if you're going first or second in between games. We're seeing Shen. Don't know that a lot of people are playing around Shen trend right now, is we've just not seen a lot of him. A very sneaky, a very tricky unit there. Very powerful in a deck that really cares about having a board presence and keeping it. We're seeing, of course, the full suite of Call to Glories, First Mate, Pit Pookie, Sithria Cloudfield, Hidden Blaze. This is all Kinku Monk as well. Kiana is definitely one that is a main deck inclusion in Sett. We're also seeing Leona as well. Again, a card that is proven to be quite good against Master Yi. Plays a role in a meta where we're going tall. We're playing a bunch of big, beefy units, or perhaps even just one beefy unit. Leona being able to get that constant competitive stun is very good at breaking down those boards. So very, very strong deck here in Sett. I mean, we've known this for a while, right? This has been a known quantity in the English events for quite some time. Up next, we have the deck that a lot of people have probably been waiting for when I talked about it earlier. It's definitely one that I wanted to see, but this one is sweet. So it's not only an Ahri deck here, it is a Time Warp Green Ahri combo. But this is not really the Ahri that we theorized would be good. This is not the blue Ahri. This is playing around the green Ahri. You are looking to set up. You are looking to hold. You're looking to get extra points from holding with Green Ahri, and you're looking to cast Time Warp when you hold to just win the game. The power cost in this deck is not super high. The Time Warp, if you've got the energy to play the Time Warp, that's fine, because you're probably going to win the game. So a very, very spicy Ahri list here. And again, this is like a Time Warp control combo deck, which is very different than the mid-range sort of tempo Ahris that we've seen a different archetype come in that is doing quite radically different strategy than we've seen in the past. Really excited about what this Ahri means for building different archetypes and building Ahri more specifically. So let's move on to the final deck in the top 8, and I'm savoring this. This is Kai'Sa in 8th place. This Kai'Sa list, it's very similar to what we've seen in previous weeks. I don't know if there's a unit that you can get a better rate on consistently than Draven. Now, of course, it's expensive and a little bit slow, and you have to set up to get him up to that high 10 might for 5 energy, but there's really not any units that can get that rate for might. So I think Draven is one to keep an eye on if you're playing Angie, especially if you're playing an aggressive Angie that is looking for a finisher. But this deck also running a main deck Time Warp, really like the card. Outside of that, interesting changes here. Noxus Hopeful only has one copy in the main deck here with an additional one in the sideboard. So I think maybe trimming down on the quote-unquote greediness of the Noxus Hopeful. Blue Victor in the sideboard, I think in non-Kai'Sa matchups is actually quite good. I do like Blue Victor in non-Kai'Sa matchups, so perfectly reasonable card in the sideboard. But I mean, Kai'Sa did perform well, of course, but not enough to take it down, ending up in 8th place. And that's your top 8 for the Hangzhou regional here. So again, I mean, we saw 4 Yis in the top 4, which at face value would seem like it's a very uninteresting meta and an uninteresting event. That just was not the case. We're still in the Wild West of Riftbound, and to me, that's super exciting. I wanted to quickly go over conversion rate changes here. Number of decks that entered in day 1, the conversion of that into day 2. Did I explain that well enough for you? Let me know in the comments section. I probably didn't. That's okay. In any case, taking a look at a couple of the champions here, we saw a slight, mostly the same conversion for Kai'Sa. Went from 14.3% conversion to 14.7%, so not a huge difference here. Master Yi got a 3% increase week to week, going from 18.4% to 21.4%. So Master Yi holding numbers and still doing well. Victor went down 3%, which would be like, that's okay, but only had a 5% conversion rate. So going down 3% is 60% reduction. But yes, that is correct. Victor doing even worse at converting. Misfortune, this one is actually, I think, notable here. Misfortune went down 5.9% from 15% conversion rate to 9.1% conversion rate. There were a decent number of misfortunes. The Yis saying, yeah, no, we're going to be playing Aurora 2, really sort of stunted the potential of the Misfortune decks. The big change here, the most important one here, was Sett, going from a 10.5% conversion rate to a 21.7% conversion rate. So we're now going to start to see the sets evolving in the same ways that we've seen Kai'Sa and Yi start to evolve. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Sett Aurora at some point. The innate strength and possibility to actually compete at the high levels. A lot of changes there. Let me know what you think about those sort of nitty gritty stats. It's something that is intriguing to me. I like to cover it and follow it. If you like it, let me know. If there's other things that you would like to see analyzed on the show, let me know in the comments section below. I will do what I can. I don't have access to everything, but the stuff that I do have access to, I can certainly analyze. Let's move on to the final segment here. Just a couple of takeaways, not only from this week specifically, but from the culmination of the last 4 weeks of these Chinese regional events is from this week specifically. It is a meme that I made on Twitter. It is the Anakin meme. This was not what we wanted when we grabbed that monkey's paw and wished for Aurora to win this weekend, but we've got innovation happening week to week. Outside of it being heavily Yi and heavily Kai'Sa dominated, I mean, we saw players come to the table and say, I want to win this and I'm going to do the work to try to change these decks. And we saw that happen week to week. The Yi deck evolved a lot. The Kai'Sa deck evolved a lot. We started to see other decks come. Only going to be a matter of time before we see one of them take down. There is a new king in town. It is Master Yi, but the last 4 weeks have really been targeted at Kai'Sa. So don't have another Chinese event happening this weekend, but if there were, I believe we would definitely be gunning for Yi. I think the events that are coming up are going to have Yi in their sights, and I'm really excited to see what is going to take down the king. Will it be Sett? Will it be Kai'Sa coming back? Will it be something else? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What decks are you excited to see? That's going to be another episode of Battlefield Breakdown brought to you by Turn 'em Sideways. Definitely make sure that you are tuned in on all of our socials. Of course, there are relevant links in the description below. But that's going to be it for this week of Battlefield Breakdown. I've been Blevins. We'll see you in the next one.